Princess Elara and the Kingdom of 1,000 Stars. The princess who loved the stars in the Kingdom of Lumina, where rivers sparkled like liquid silver and forests sang with the voices of 1,000 birds, lived a young princess named Elara. She was unlike any princess before her. While most royals loved grand feasts and glittering jewels, Elara loved the night sky. Every evening, she climbed the tallest tower of the palace to gaze at the stars. She had a golden telescope, a gift from her late mother, Queen Amara, who had told her stories of the Kingdom of 1,000 Stars, a place hidden beyond the clouds where magic flowed freely. One night, as Elara traced the constellations, she noticed something strange. 3 stars from the royal constellation Crown of Lumina were missing. It was said that if those stars disappeared, darkness would slowly spread across the land. The secret message. The next morning, Elara found an ancient book in the palace library, hidden behind dusty scrolls. The book glowed faintly and opened by itself, revealing a map of the skies. On one page, in shimmering silver letters, it read, "Only the pure of heart may journey beyond the Veil of Dawn to return the stolen stars." At the bottom of the page was the seal of the Star Guardians, a mysterious order that protected the realms of light. Determined to restore the missing stars, Elara decided to leave the palace in secret. She packed a small bag with bread, cheese, a flask of water, and her telescope. She wore a silver cloak that shimmered like moonlight and quietly slipped out before sunrise. Companions on the journey. As she traveled through the whispering forest, Elara met a talking fox named Lyric, who offered to guide her in exchange for a promise. "If we succeed, you must grant me one wish," said Lyric. Later, on the shores of the Crystal Lake, they rescued a young man named Kellen, a skilled archer who had been cursed into stone by shadow magic. Elara's kindness broke the curse, and Kellen swore to protect her on her journey. The 3 of them, princess, fox, and archer, became inseparable companions. The Veil of Dawn. After days of travel, they reached the Veil of Dawn, a swirling curtain of golden mist said to be the barrier between the mortal world and the Kingdom of 1,000 Stars. To pass through, they needed the key of Celestia, hidden in the Labyrinth of Echoes. Inside the labyrinth, they faced shifting walls, whispered lies, and illusions of their worst fears. Elara almost turned back when she saw an image of her mother calling her a failure, but Lyric's voice broke the spell. "Courage, princess. The stars believe in you, even when you doubt yourself." At the center, they found the key of Celestia glowing on a pedestal. As Elara touched it, the labyrinth dissolved into stardust, and they stepped through the veil. The Kingdom of 1,000 Stars. On the other side lay a breathtaking realm where mountains floated in the air, rivers glowed with silver light, and the sky shimmered with endless constellations. The people here were the Starborn, luminous beings who welcomed Elara warmly. But all was not well. 3 of their sacred star crystals had been stolen by the Shadow Wraith, a creature born from darkness, who hid in the Eclipse Fortress. Without those crystals, both Lumina and the Star Kingdom would fall into eternal night. Trials of the Fortress. The journey to the Eclipse Fortress was perilous. They crossed the Bridge of Comets, climbed the Mountains of Eternal Light, and navigated the Sea of Reflections, where illusions tried to lure them away from their path. When they reached the fortress, the gates were guarded by stone titans. Kellen's arrows shattered the chains holding the gates, while Lyric slipped inside to disable the traps. In the heart of the fortress, they found the Shadow Wraith, a massive creature with wings like torn clouds and eyes like burning coal. It hissed, "You cannot bring back the light. The stars belong to me now." The battle for the stars. The Wraith attacked, summoning storms of black fire. Elara used the key of Celestia to shield them, but the magic was draining her strength. Kellen fought fiercely, while Lyric darted between shadows, distracting the monster. Finally, Elara remembered her mother's words. The greatest light comes from within. She closed her eyes, focused on her love for her people, her friends, and the beauty of the stars. And a blinding light burst from her heart, piercing the wraith's darkness. The shadow wraith screamed and dissolved into dust, leaving behind the 3 missing star crystals. Restoring the sky, they returned the crystals to the Star Kingdom, and the missing stars reappeared in the crown of Lumina. The Starburns celebrated for 3 days, showering the sky with meteor showers in Elara's honor. True to her promise, Elara asked Lyric what his wish was. The fox smiled sadly and said, "I wish to be human again." A beam of starlight surrounded him, and when it faded, a young man stood in his place. Lyric, the prince of a neighboring kingdom, cursed long ago by the wraith. A queen of light, Elara returned to Lumina with Kellen and Lyric. Her people welcomed her as a hero. And in time, she became queen, known as Elara the Star-Hearted, the ruler who brought back the light. But every year, on the night the stars had once disappeared, she stood on her tower, looking up at the sky. And sometimes, just sometimes, she thought she could hear her mother's voice in the wind, whispering, "The stars will always guide you, my daughter." Moral: true strength shines brightest in the darkest moments, and even the smallest light can guide the way.